Welcome to the Perfect Place to Put a Practice podcast by Scott McDonald and drdemographics.com, the best source of demographic, psychographic, and marketing information for professionals.
Hello, I'm Scott McDonald, and this is drdemographics.com. My video this week is about an issue which is divided demographers and business owners, and it's worth talking about a little bit because it's coming to healthcare. It is the difference between localization and globalization. Now, in some cities in the United States, globalization has been the dominant form that people are choosing to pursue. It may be a very wise idea. Then again, it may be stupid. So let's talk a little about it and how you are going to decide what's the choice you want to make. Do you want to have the big practice, the corporate practice, or something else? Localization really means, do you want to have a practice you can tightly control, or are you going to turn it over to partners and a conglomeration who will really run things? Are you going to be an administrator, or are you going to be a doctor? Now, a lot of people have chosen the idea of being an administrator. They want to have 12 practices. They want to hire lots of people, and they don't want supervising those people. That is one way to go. I'm not criticizing it because I've known doctors who've done both. But increasingly, I've seen doctors who are retreating from that big corporate amalgamation of practices. Now, there are some things you should know about me that maybe you don't know. You see, my dad built houses. He was a general contractor and architect. If there is a more localized business and one less globalized, I don't know what it is. We would attend planning commission meetings, meet with local politicians, and drive through proposed developments every weekend. We would have clients come to our homes to look at the progress on the plans, and they could modify them. Now, I wish that my orientation from an early age was to see the world from ground level. He taught me we trusted people he could speak to and look in the eye. Localization seemed to be heading that way again. And you may be interested to note, we met a lot of people at the country club and at church and within the neighborhood that we worked. The idea is you have to get to know the people that you are working for. There seemed to be a rising distrust of globalization right now in the world. We don't trust the experts to have all the answers. People distrust the government, the media, and even educational institutions as never before. Trust is at an all-time low right now. Hardly anybody trusts any professionals. And maybe that's true for you too. Too often, those who should know the best have failed us, and doubts have been rising. They call this the big shift. It illustrates the big winners like Goldman Sachs, Meta, Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, and even the places like California, New York, and Illinois where the big money was. Well, they were supposed to be the winners. Experts called a halt to the digging and mining for fossil fuels because experts thought it was a good idea. It's supposed to change their bottom line. Maybe not. It was against reason and our best judgment to stop looking for fossil fuels. Globalization may have seemed wise once, but not so much anymore. That's an illustration of the point I'm trying to make. Experts have failed us. This translates to big companies have failed us. Big governments have failed us. This goes for big pharma and big healthcare, hasn't it? That is why the current trend is in the direction of smaller, more personalized care that has a closer connection to the community in which the practice resides. I believe this is true for healthcare practices right now. That's why the big practices that were downtown and had multiple offices may not be doing so well. This may not look like more complex practice management models, but it is distinctly more people-oriented, and that makes them more trusted. Doctors, I want there to be more trust. My family friends, when I was growing up, well, they were the children and the doctors and professionals who owned practices and had to meet the needs of their patients. They made a living by working hard and maintaining their solid reputations. Who needs a reputation? Well, I became a demographer for healthcare practices because it was intellectually challenging. And to be honest, I like the people. And I can control my destiny. I think that is true of most of you. Our practices have reached a fork in the road. And let me explain. We can either side with the local vision or take the path of globalization. Occasionally, doctors will state that they want to hang up their latex gloves and become part of a conglomerate. It's a guaranteed income. It's big money. Many do not want so much patient interaction as they have. I cannot believe this, but it seems to be true that a lot of doctors just don't like people. The fact is, patient interaction may become more vital as you enter or than ever in your success. Now, some people want to go to AI. Can artificial intelligence do your job? Well, I'm one of those advocates who does not think so. I think what a doctor is a service person for people. I believe that either path is legitimate, to be an administrator or to be a doctor. But we have to have a heart-to-heart chat about it sometime. It is not whether you have to give up dentistry or cardiology or dermatology. The choice is whether you be a doctor or an administrator. And I think it's getting harder to do both. So many good doctors, great doctors I know, are no longer treating patients. Either role can bring wealth. Both require you to work hard. I don't think there's an easy way out. Neither is entirely safe because things will change in the marketplace. But you see, in the end, you're going to have to make a choice. As for me and many others, the localized approach will be doing what you love. You see, I love talking to doctors. I love getting into the numbers. I love hearing about your hopes and dreams and what your kids' hopes and dreams are. That's what I love about this. And if I can't do that, I'm not sure I want to. A wise old doctor once told me, I am in the people business. I never wanted to be in the thing business. I knew his family well, and I can say without reservation, after all the work and sacrifice, he did the right thing. You might say he was an old country doctor, but he was in a suburb. But he loved the people he served. To work in the people business, you're going to need a demographer to tell you where the people can be found and who will want and need your services. At Dr. Demographics, that is what we do. And that is why we were anxious to talk to you about your hopes and your dreams and the things about practice that you love. A good demographer can help with that. The global approach may be dead. Localization may have a new lease on life. And I believe that it can happen in any part of the United States. My belief is that you got into this business because you like to help people. Now, there are big questions for demographers. Number one is, who do you want to serve? And number two is, where can the people you want to serve be found? A demographer can help you answer the second question, but we can't answer the first. You have to tell us who you love to serve. Sometimes a really good demographer can add the modifier to the end of the question easily. Whom do you want to serve easily? Where can the people you want to serve be found easily? Not all places can be equally easy to be profitable or as easy to start up. But those places that can be, we can help you to find. Now, personal trust and local control is making a comeback in healthcare. I'm not saying everybody has to be small, but I am saying that everybody has to listen better. There are two kinds of reports that I'm going to recommend to you. The first is the quick view report. If you have 3 or 4 places you want to compare and contrast, that's the one for you. It's not very expensive, and it has a significant benefit by giving you the facts. Then number 2, the practice site viability report. You want to know where you can make a living, a good living, and make it in a place that's easy. If you want to know about these reports or any other research reports, please visit us at www.drdemographics.com or call us at 800-849-0499. Our job is to help you realize your dreams, not to give you a canned answer that someone else will want. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching, and let us know how we can help. This is Scott McDonald. Take care.